All right, so we have our final hero for this session, Ismael Belkhayat. He is the founder of Chari, an e-commerce app that is helping small retailers in Francophone Africa procure inventory for their stores and get it delivered for free while benefiting from payment facilities. Chari is a one-stop shop that puts the power of e-commerce in the hands of retailers on a mission to meet the needs of the fragmented and informal entrepreneurs operating in Francophone Africa. When he's not helping retailers, Ismael enjoys spending quality time with his family and participating in physical activities like Ironman. So everyone, let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to Ismael.
Good afternoon.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the semifinal. You have 5 minutes for the pitch, and we'll do a little bit of a jingle when you have 1 minute left. Go for it when you're ready.
Amazing. So it's always difficult to be the last one to pitch before lunch. I'm sure everybody is hungry, so I promise I'll make sure not to make you fall asleep. Obviously, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here among the top 20. I'm Ismael, born and raised in Morocco. I'm born in the 80s. And I was very fortunate because when I was a kid, I used to go to a school that was next to my place. And on my way to school, I used to stop by the no-name independent mom and pop shop. You know, the grocery store. Each country has its own name. We call them Hanout. These guys are parts of our families. And you know, as a kid, the first thing you want to buy are candies. So I had a deal with my father. Each time I could get a good grade from school, I could buy a candy without paying. And you know why? Because the shop has on his ear this small pen that he used to use to write on a credit book. And all my candies were on this credit book. And every other week, when my father used to be paid, he used to go and pay the tab of the whole family. I then went to France for my studies. I went to university. And I'll tell you something. One of the things that I was missing was this small grocery store next to my door. I realized that in France, these shops disappeared. They all got replaced by supermarkets, the big chains, such as Carrefour. And myself, I really believe that these shops are part of our communities. Not only they sell to us the daily needs, but they are also our friends, our neighbors, sometimes our bankers. So my ambition today is to make sure that whatever happened in Europe, in the US, won't happen in Africa, in Francophone Africa. This is Muhammad. There are 2 million people like him in Francophone Africa. They all face the same issues with their procurement, with their working capital. And if nothing is done in the coming years, they will end up being replaced by the big brands. How can we help them? I really believe that digitization can do something for these guys. My ambition with Chari is to make sure that with 3 pillars, we'll be able to help these shops survive because they do belong to our national heritage. One is with procurement. If we want them to be competitive, we need them to team up and buy at a good price. So with Chari, we make sure to provide them with a one-stop shop where they can order anything they want, and we deliver the goods in less than 24 hours. Then we could think of turning them into local banks or local financial institution point of sales, where they can offer services such as cash in, cash out, money transfer, bill payment, mobile top-up, you name it. These shops can be more than grocery stores. They can be superstores. And 3, these guys need working capital. And we are helping, teaming up with a local bank so we can provide them with the money they need. And we developed an app called Kani, which is the credit book I told you about. No, my candies won't be anymore in the paper. My candies are now in the cloud because the shops are writing down everything on our apps. We did quite well when it comes to our traction. We started in January 2020 We could hit recently $10 million in monthly GMV, and we could sign some amazing contracts with the best suppliers in Morocco. P&G, Mars, Nivea are working with us. We serve today about 30,000 active monthly clients, and we do about 30,000 orders a month. Our take rate, which is our gross revenues, are today at 8.2%, and we worked hard to get it there. This slide shows the story of Sherry. When we started, it was quite difficult because we couldn't convince the supplier, and they were giving us low margins. And then with time, we did well, became famous, and could negotiate better terms, and at the same time, lower our cost. We could do that thanks to an amazing team, diverse team of people from Morocco, Tunisia, Ivory Coast, France, who are FMCG experts. And also thanks to amazing investors who believed in us, including Y Combinator and Harvard University. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for the presentation. Now we'll do 25 minutes of Q&A with the judges.
Hey, Ismael. Good to see you again on another stage. So this particular sector is a sector I know well. And what I've seen is that it has notoriously low margins. So what is it that you do that is special, that allows you to have a high take rate, but also on the P&L itself, the GP margins are very healthy. So granted, they're growing from 25%, I think, last couple of years, to 40%. What's the story there?
So I'm going to share with you the tricks, right, about how to hack the gross margin. You know, when we started, we used to have, I'll say, negative gross margins, mainly because we had to buy our goods from local cash and carry stores. And to acquire clients, we had sometimes to give discounts and pay for the logistics. But that was at the time when we started. Then with time, we started gathering data. And with this data, we went to see the suppliers, mainly the multinationals, by telling them, we are the only player in the traditional trade able to provide you with information about what's going on the market. And we could start not only negotiating better terms, but also get additional margins through the data. That's number one. Number two, we made sure to lower the volumes of those categories that have low margins. You know, those big, bulky goods, such as table oil, subsidized sugar, flour, we made sure that in every single invoice, the volume of these goods are limited. Then number three, we opened warehouses. First, obviously, to do our pick and pack and deliver the goods. But then we decided to open the warehouses to our users. And we told the users, come to the shops. You'll be able to see what we have. We went to see the same suppliers. And we told them, before, you were considering us as a distributor with low margins. But no, we are a retailer. And as a retailer, we want front margin and back margin. And this is how we could go up a little bit more. But that's not enough. We had to keep digging for solutions. And you're right, this industry has low margins. So we started thinking of cross-border trading. We used our network to find out what could be the brands that could work. We went even to see some companies in the US, including those who have been listed in the NASDAQ, Vita Coco, Oatly, Beyond Meat. And we signed with them exclusive importation and distribution contracts, allowing us to have much better margins. And all these put together allowed us to progressively increase our take rate over the last 3 years.
Hi there. Great presentation. I love the picture. I think all of us grew up and walked into a shop like that at some point. Your who else is in your business with you? I know you showed a team, but just in ownership, who owns the business along with you?
So we are two co-founders. Both of us previous strategy consultants. Myself worked for BCG, and my co-founder worked for McKinsey. Before starting Shari, we, with my co-founder, started two other ventures. And this Shari is the third venture. And the three, I'll say, that are very fast growing. I'm going to show you the two first ventures. Here you go. Their names are Malik, 4 years old, and Leila, 3 years old. So as everybody has understood now, my co-founder is my wife, and both of us started the company.
You'll get a good return on investment there.
Believe me, they are all growing fast and all very time-consuming.
I see you've done quite a bit of fundraising. Right?
Yes, we did.
So why ABH? Are you here for the money, the network, the, I don't know, the lunch?
I've seen the lunch. The lunch is delicious. No, I'm here before everything. You know, as we say, your network is your net worth, right? So, you know, when I met with Ken, it was just adding to my net worth, right? And I knew that by coming here, right? I also heard a lot about Fred, for instance, and I knew that I would get to know more people. And it's through knowing the people that you create opportunities. And I really believe that ABH is one of the best way to keep getting to know the best people. But that's not enough. You need also more motivation, right? Being on stage here in front of you is also a motivation, right? I heard about all the great PR ABH could bring to a company. And you know, when you are from Morocco, it's not easy to stand out. We are not a tech, unfortunately not yet, a tech startup nation, just starting. And we need to bring as much light as possible on the whole country. So I'm very proud here, as a Moroccan, to represent my nation that hopefully one day, and I could even bring someone with me, 2 people, that one day, hopefully will become a state-up nation as great as Nigeria, Kenya, and Egypt.
Okay. Thank you. One last one. Somebody wanted to clap for you now. One last question. The warehouse, right, that you said, then you changed it to a retail store. So can the general public go and buy there, or only if you have a store? Who goes there?
It's a very good question. So initially we had only big warehouses that were outside of the cities, that were too far for shopkeepers to go and get the goods. And you know, shopkeepers have an opportunity cost by getting their goods, because they usually need to close their shop because it's a one-man show. So what we decided to do is any new warehouse would be opened within the cities to get closer to our shopkeepers. And that's how today we kept opening local warehouses open to our clients. I have a video for this. I don't know if we can show it. Let me maybe show you just the video of the big warehouses we have. So this is our app. It allows them to basically find anything they want. Once they make the order, it goes to our office where we have a team of customer care. And this customer care makes sure that the shops have real shops, because we have B2B contracts. And then it goes to our warehouse. This is the big warehouse we opened outside of Casablanca in the suburbs. Once the orders are received, we have a warehouse management system. We go through every single item, and we make sure not to lose any products, right? Once it's done, that's when we have what we call our delivery boys. There are usually 2 per cars. You have one guy to drive the car and one guy to do the handling. And as you can see, these cars are today delivering 30,000 orders a month, so 1,000 a day, and we are the unique player in Morocco able to deliver in less than 24 hours with free returns and with invoices. This is Mohammed. And I wish I could show you the video of the shops.
So they don't need to leave their stores. They do everything online on the app, and everything comes to them.
So we keep pushing the app. We have on the ground what we call ambassadors. Their job is to go meet with the shopkeepers, take their phone, install the app, and train them on how to use it. Once they learn how to use it, they can order on the app, and we make sure to do the rest. We get paid cash on delivery, and we still have a few clients lazy enough to see the goods on the app and to send us WhatsApp voice messages. So the team you've seen on the video sometime listen to the voice messages and turn their orders into digital orders.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Great job so far, and congratulations for getting to this final round, Ismael. Let me understand a few things. So this is almost like Amazon for a retailer. I go in, I buy, I order things, and I either use the app or I send you a voice note. Or do you have a call center if I want to call you?
Yes. So today we have 4 ways of ordering. We've called them Casa, like Casablanca. C for call center. You can call. Usually everyone goes through the app, see the promotions of the day, see the bargains of the day, and then they sometimes call us. That's number 1. Number 2 is A for application. So they use the app and go through the app to make the order. S is called shop or stores. That's our warehouses that are in the cities where the clients can go and order anything they want. And everything has been digitized in these shops, mainly because they can have a big screen, which is like a big app, in which they can order what they want. And the last is ambassadors, Casa, ambassadors. These are our feed reps
Who go to the stores.
Who go to the stores.
So what is the distribution of the inflow from those 4?
So 100% goes through the app. Out of the 100%, only 20% order on the app. The other 40% remaining is WhatsApp and call center. We call them the same. And the 40 that are left are our people on the ground who usually sign the client up and make them go through the first 2-3 orders. When you look at the lifetime consumption habit of a user, you realize that they start with the human who helped them with the order. Then they move to calling us or sending us WhatsApp voice messages. And then, after usually 4 to 6 months, they become fully autonomous and independent.
Okay. And I saw you had friends.
Yes.
Explain that to us.
It's a question that I usually get. So, you know, when I told you that I went to France for my studies, and I discovered that these shops disappeared, reality is there are still a few of them. To give you big figures, in Morocco, 80 to 90% of the total FMCG consumption goes through these small independent mom and pop shops, and only 10% through the supermarkets. So you spend 100 dirham, 90 will go to these guys. In France, it's the other way around. When you have 10 euros, 90 will be spent at Carrefour and alike, and 10 within the shops. Do you know who are these shops? They are usually people coming from Morocco, right? And they have the exact same problems as the ones their counterparts have in Morocco. They have issues with their procurement. They have issues with their working capital. And we realized that our technology that worked in Morocco could work the same way in France. And the way we discovered this is because we got accelerated in Station F in Paris, and we got to meet with these shopkeepers, and we realized that not only we could offer them the same service, but tomorrow, with financial services, we could even think of bridging the gap between these two shops by doing, for instance, remittances between the two shops,
Okay, so you are basically providing a similar service to these small mom and pop shops in France. And do you have a warehouse in France as well?
Yes, we do. We do have a warehouse and cars.
How much of the volume that you submit to your customers comes from your own warehouses versus third-party warehouses?
So when I say I have my own warehouses, I mean that I rent a space within the warehouses.
I understand that. I know you're not owning the space,
yes,
but the goods in there are yours.
Yes, 100% of the goods we deliver to the clients are coming from the spaces we do rent within the warehouses. We are not a marketplace. we have only one business model, which is buy and sell.
Okay, so you invest working capital. So this is very working capital intensive. You're going and you're buying all these goods, putting in your warehouse, and then you have to, how long is your typical inventory turn?
So that's when we started. Remember when we started, I told you I used to go get my goods from the local cash and carry stores. I was paying cash on delivery and then delivering the goods. And I needed a positive working capital. But then, again, thanks to scale, thanks to the fact that I was the only one able to provide data to the suppliers about these shops, I could negotiate two things. Better margins, as Ken asked, but also better payment terms. As we speak, our average payment term is at 45 days. And guess what? I get paid cash on delivery by my clients. I make sure to get only about 15 days of stock in my warehouses. So as we speak, my working capital is negative. And we are fueling our growth thanks to this negative working capital that can go up to 1 month of inventory. That's the beauty of the model in our countries.
Clap for him.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Great stuff. I think there's quite a few players in different markets that are going through something similar to yours. So there's a couple of obstacles that they're all sort of facing. So the first one is the unit economics. You seem to figure that out with the 8% gross margin. A lot of them were lower than that. But then can I just dig in a little bit more into the discounts and the logistics costs? Are you still offering discounts to your clients?
Yes. So thank you for this question. Indeed, there are many of us in the continent, covering, I believe, the whole continent. And we all face the same challenges, whatever the country is. And again, in order to acquire your first users and turn them from ordering from their local wholesalers to your app, you need to incentivize them. So we started by giving them vouchers that they could use up to $5 to have them use us, right? And then we became the first and unique VC-backed startup in Morocco to get a financial institution license from the Central Bank of Morocco in order to do financial inclusion. So what we started doing is offering a wallet to our shopkeepers. So anytime they order something, we give them a cashback on their wallet of 1% to 2%, depending on the goods they are buying. So we push them to keep ordering from us.
That's every single order?
Yes, that's every single order.
1% to 2%?
1% to 2%.
So you're going to get 8%, and then you're giving them 2% back, so
yes.
6%.
However,
and then your logistics cost, which you answered, I think, was 6%.
Yes, I'm
so
coming to this.
So you're making nothing.
No, I'm coming to this.
Okay.
The 2%, first it's between 1 and 2.
Okay.
Right? But it's out of the 20% users that uses our app. Right? All the others who keep using the phone, who keep using our ambassadors, are not getting this discount. This 2%, it's 1.5 when you do the average, is in reality a way for us to digitize the users to start using the app. And you know what? What we pay in this 1.5%, we get it back by not using the human resources at the office that we've seen, whose job is to listen to the WhatsApp voice messages. Hopefully one day, we'll be able to have 100% of the users using the app. And I call this digital inclusion. I am paying with my team these shops to start learning how to use technology, because we believe that the day they learn, they will be saved from competition.
Sure.
That was the question, the first part. Yeah. Second part,
it's
logistics.
You're running a business, so like, I think it's nice to have all of that, but at the end of the day, if you're not making money on anything that you're making, like it's, what are you doing, right? So that's what I want to understand, because that's what's happening across all of the same models as yours. Maybe you can get to positive unit economics, but when you add logistics costs, discounts, and all of that, you basically are losing money as a business.
Let's dream a little bit and say that one day I end up digitizing 100% of my users. So I'll be paying the 2% discount. I'm dreaming of paying the 2% discount. Mm-hmm. Then my margin will only be 6% if I don't keep growing my margin. Yeah. And then my logistics, as I said, 2% warehousing, 2% pick and pack, and 2% delivery, last mile, I end up at zero. You're right. I am today working for nothing. You're right. Unit economics of B2B e-commerce, let's face it, face the reality, are not as good as we may expect. If you do well, if you are a super champion, you will end up breaking even. But that's not where the value is. Think of it as a Trojan horse. The day you digitize your shops and you get what I call the trust, even though in your P&L you end up at zero, you've created a value that is unlimited. Why? That's when you can start adding additional revenue streams such as fintech. And I'll give just a few examples. These shops, again, they have peak time when they have to handle all of their clients, but then in between they have nothing to do. Why don't we turn them into financial services shops, super shops, where they can offer a lot of services? Just as an example, myself, when I send money back from Europe to Morocco, I need to go through Western Union, RIA, MoneyGram. These guys take 15%. And they ask your family to go to the next big city to get their money. With these shops, you can use them, again, for money transfer. You can use them for cash in, cash out. I got contacted by Cellulant 2 weeks ago. Again, as a payment gateway, they needed some people to start paying online, but who didn't have a card and who could go see these shops, pay the shops, and the other way around for payouts. We could use them and we can help them to become, again, local banks. Why would they stay grocery stores? They could become banks, make more money, and keep competing with the multinationals. One last...
Yeah, great. So, nice vision, but you need lots of funding to get there. Right now, we're in an environment where that's more difficult than it was in the past 2 years while you were raising and growing. What's the fallback if this fundraising thing doesn't happen? What are you going to do?
Yes, so first of all, we were very fortunate because we could raise we raised a seed round that took us where I showed you, and then we could raise a Series A.
During the good times?
During the good times, right before. And this is luck, let's be honest. This is called only luck. So we have a pretty long runway, on top of the fact that we got the license I told you about, that nobody else than us with a VC-minded behavior has. So we hope to work on this to make sure to have the means of our ambition.
Okay.